Let's do it.
Okay.
Welcome to our first episode of the KAWmedy Krow podcast. I'm Christopher Keith Tyler. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Yeah.
And I'm Peter Anthony Marshall Jr. That's a full name, not just first and last. I give you nothing but the truth.
It's one word.
Yeah.
No caps.
No hyphen.
Yeah.
And I'm Amy. Just Amy.
There it is. Gotcha. Now I can hear you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Right over the equipment.
Yeah. That's how we like
live
it.
dangerously.
Yeah, on the edge.
Yeah.
So, our podcast is covering all the shows that we do. We'll be segmenting different guests on the show, from performers that have been in the festival, also comics that are in Solaris comedy shows, contest winners, and headliners and performers from the Mikes and Margs show at Guadalajara.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be mixing it up. We're going to try to keep it on a regular basis, maybe weekly or every other week. But to start off, we're going to tell you a little bit. We started this adventure back in 2022 for the first annual KAWmedy Fest
Yeah.
at Solaris Beer and Blending.
2023, though.
Yeah. 2022 is
be-
when the idea started.
Yeah.
Like
Right,
we
it
started
was-
building it in. Yeah.
It was incubating, but
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the three of us had all of our roles. I'm like the idea guy, but I can't do I couldn't do any of this without Peter and Amy. I love you both so very much.
Amy and I were office buddies. We kept sending each other back and forth like, how do we do this? Okay, let's figure that out.
Oh,
Okay, I need you
man.
to figure this out. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. High five. We
no.
did it.
I think we have an amazing team because all of our talents and what we know, our life experiences have really allowed us to kind of be a yin and yang, so
Yeah.
to speak. So everything has been great.
Yeah.
Also, I want to introduce you. Our mascot is a KAWmedy Krow right here. And some of if you go on Instagram or any of the social platforms where our videos were, this was the most hated character that I implemented. KAWmedy Krow.
Hey everybody, it's me, KAWmedy Krow. I can't wait to do another more sketches for 2024.
Yeah, so nobody likes that.
Yeah, everybody hated him, and I absolutely loved him. He is one of my best friends, and we hang out sometimes, and I love you, and I'm glad you're in my life, KAWmedy Krow.
Yeah, and
I love you.
Yeah, I know you do.
David Cross's fingers were inside me.
that's right.
That's
yeah,
right.
KAWmedy
Yeah,
Krow. Yeah, Amy and I. What do we?
David Cross put his saliva inside his butthole.
Yeah.
We went to see him live leading up to the festival. Amy and I got to meet David Cross. It was such an honor. And he wet willied him, and we worked it into a sketch. But
Yeah. The cool part was that he was willing to do it.
yeah,
I was like, are you kidding? Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
it was
rock
interesting.
it.
I had him. KAWmedy Krow was hidden inside my outfit, and then after I talked to him for a little bit about his set and getting a colonoscopy, right?
Yeah, you were so insistent about his, because he does that bit about getting a colonic
Yeah.
flush.
The couple's colonic.
Yeah, yeah. And Chris was insistent. He just had to know all about this colonic cleanse. I mean, is it? He's just like, no,
Well,
this is.
He's like,
it
this is a
was
bit.
uncomfortable. It didn't make me feel better.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, you know what? Well, I'm going to shove my fist up your crow. And then that's what he did.
Yeah. Well, I was actually being honest. I was intrigued by getting a colonic. I didn't know. I wanted to hear him firsthand, off the record. And he was like, yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth
It
it.
doesn't really do anything. You don't feel any better. you just feel violated.
Yeah.
And I was like, speaking of which, I'd like to introduce you. We do a comedy fest in Murrieta. He's like, where's Murrieta? I'm like, Temecula. It's on between LA and San Diego. And he gave us some advice and told us to stick with it.
Yeah,
and
he did.
He was super cool, really nice guy. We hope to see him again in the future, maybe at one of our festivals. Who knows?
Yeah.
Badass. Maybe it'll get that far.
Yeah.
I mean, we're cool.
And what did you guys think of our first annual comedy fest?
I mean, it was a lot of fun. It really went together. I didn't think it was going to be as big as we made it. I thought it was just going to be like a regular show that we had, but we sold out. We hit like, I think close to 130 people, which was our max for Solaris Beer and Blending, which thank you again, Solaris Beer and Blending, for letting us use their venue. Which if you ever have a chance, definitely go out to
The
Marietta
best
and
beer.
see it. The beer is awesome.
The best beer.
They always switch out and get different beers.
Constantly.
Constantly keep creating different beers over and over. I mean, we have them at Guadalajara's too. And one of the cool parts is I'll have a West Coast IPA that I always bring on, but it's not the same West Coast IPA after our 2 kegs are done. He has like another one that comes out, and then I can't even get the last 2. It's like going to be new every time. So a lot of customers are pretty excited every time they come in. They're like, "Oh, is it the same, or did we get a new one?" And they're like,
Well,
"Oh, it's a
that's
new one
badass.
this time." Yeah.
So people are really responding to.
Yeah, they
beer.
are. Yeah, because
I
it keeps
love
like
it.
rotation without changing the brand, but it feels like you're trying something new every time. So that's been pretty cool.
Badass.
But
They're solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every freaking beer is so to style, and I know we keep talking about the beer, but like really, like
Yeah.
the beer is fantastic. Everything is to style and so creative, and you never get tired. So even if you are gluten sensitive, they have seltzers that are just absolutely fantastic. So
Yeah,
there
they're
is
actually
something for
good.
everyone. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the cool thing that I like about that they do with their beers too is that like they on their cans they always have different artwork that's really cool, but on the back when you read them they pair it with music.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
like this one would go really good with Al Green's "Here I Am, Baby." And you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
They're
that stuff is pretty cool.
they're
Yeah.
music junkies, so we all get along really well.
Mm-hmm.
They have like an Adult Swim style humor. That's what when I was introduced to do Solaris, Alex, who runs the Vinyl Night. Shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
If you're listening or watching, yeah, he hit me up and was like, "Hey, they're looking to do comedy at Solaris, the new brewery," and I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'll go check it out." And as soon as I met Chad, the owner, it was just like love at first sight. I was like, "Dude, you're so cool, man!"
They're like
the-
Bradulina, but like
yeah, yeah, he's totally gets the humor. They love the staff loves to watch the comics, and it's just a really good room to do comedy, and it's been a lot of fun. And we've been doing the Monday night show over the last year. It's grown a reputation now, and it's just getting more and more packed. Last night we had a record-breaking 25 comics sign up.
insane on a Monday.
Yeah, on a Monday night, and everybody's doing 5 minutes, and the lighting changes. Solaris has like all these lights all synced to Philips Hue, which is right up my alley. Like I love smart home devices, but yeah, we change the lighting per theme. And there's 4 themes. There's a green screen morph suit, which is a morph suit with the cup is right behind Peter, and we have Goth Comedy Night, and then Strangely Normal, which is this last night. It was just a straight up classic open mic, and then
Hecklers.
Hecklers
Night,
Wanted, which is funny because it used to be Masquerade Comedy Night.
Yeah, we did Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a great idea, but people, I don't know, people don't step outside themselves, and they don't want to put on a mask, or they don't want to dress up.
I think.
I mean, maybe it's a
I think
Monday
I get
thing,
it.
but
yeah, I think I get it only because like prior 2020, people would have been super cool about masks. And then just like, now you want to cover the other side of my face? People are like really pissed, like, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I wear this goddamn mask. And so I feel like it was just sad timing.
We had Peter wore a Wolverine mask
Yeah.
one time, and then we had somebody had an allergic reaction to our masks.
Was it
Oh my
allergic?
God.
Yeah, she had hives from the mask, and it was
Ooh.
right out of the package.
Amazon.
Yeah, so I had to trash those masks in particular. But yeah, it was a good run. But yeah, Amy would come in dressed in a full dress with white stripes and
Yeah, masquerade. It was like
Yeah.
a white stripe kind of Beetlejuice masquerade.
That's cool.
It was
Yeah,
badass.
it was
It was
fun.
fun for a minute.
It was fun.
yeah. And then we swapped it out with Hecklers Wanted, and I was thinking like, oh, finally people are gonna want to heckle, and maybe open up for improv.
Yeah.
But everyone's so nice. Like
they are
don't.
pretty nice. Yeah.
It ends up being like the nicest audience. So
Yeah. Because they're all, I think, out of this, open mic, as far as like all the open mics that I've gone to, have been really cool because everybody's cool with each other, and it's created such like a camaraderie with the comedians that it's not like, because being a comedian, it's like a dog eat dog world sometimes, and you go in and like people have their own cliques, but it's like we created this huge clique that comes in where everybody's friends and everybody listens to each other. You get laughs, you get like help up. If somebody's like slipping up and they're on their set and everything, we try to give them like some chuckles and everything to kind of keep them with the flow. It isn't
it's a
like
support
just
team.
death silence throughout the whole time of like, I'm not listening to what you have to say. It's like, it's very cool and relaxed, but like also the constant customers that are coming in, like they all have a cool vibe too, and they're down there for, comedy, and they're all into laughing and they're all chilling. Like it's quiet, people aren't talking through your sets and all that stuff. You know?
And even if they're not there for comedy, they'll actually go outside.
Yeah, they'll go
It's
outside. Yeah,
they're pretty polite and they
Yeah.
respect it.
yeah, my
that's nice.
my favorite is like every leading up to the show, every 15 minutes up till the show, I'll say there's gonna be adult content. Open mic night starts in 45 minutes, and I'll do it at 30 minutes, and I'll say the same thing, and there'll be like some family with like little munchkins or kids running around, and then they're like, oh, they'll be fine. Like it'll be fine. They see adult movies all the time. And I'm like, okay. And then like the first comic goes up and just starts talking about their genitals and
yeah,
like
they're all penis,
they-
penis, penis,
Yeah.
penis, penis.
They grab it. Yeah, just some penis Tourette's. Yeah. Penis.
Penis.
Yeah. And they just go running out. But yeah, people have got on board with the show, but it went so well that we decided to do a KAWmedy Fest. And last year was fantastic, but now we're entering 2024, second annual KAWmedy Fest.
Yeah.
And we're doing it tighter and bigger and better and more fine-tuned. Who's our opening?
So we have School of Rock, Temecula,
Yeah.
gonna open again, and they did a
Returning.
freaking fantastic job last time. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it
I mean, I
starts at
could
3.
because those kids are amazing and motivated, and they're great musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, their house band is awesome. So we'll have School of Rock. I think at 3:00.
Yeah.
It starts 3 to 3:45. They break down 4:00. We'll have comics.
Yeah, the first comics.
Yeah.
And then and then we have comics different each comic will have a 15-minute set. There's only 3 comics per segment, and then we'll have a comedy competition, which this month we're rolling out. Instead of Hecklers Wanted, we're going to be doing a comedy competition at Solaris, and whoever wins with the best 5 minutes for that month, for January, for example, they'll get one of the 4 slots available for the KAWmedy Fest.
You'll
And-
get the golden ticket.
yeah. Yeah, and then you can compete at KAWmedy Fest, and the headliners, Steph Clark and Tom Clark, will be the judges, and whoever wins KAWmedy Fest. Last year it was Kyle Johnson won KAWmedy Fest 2023.
Yeah.
And
Very new comic.
yeah, he did
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
well.
did really well.
Yeah, and yeah, they'll get a trophy for 2024. And then after Steph Clark and Tom Clark close out the show, or not close it out, but for performance-wise or stand-up, Benji Phonic
Yeah.
is the musical closing act. So we start with music and we end with music, but
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
comedic music at the
It's
very
well
end.
rounded. I mean, just like a comedy set, you say a joke that you bring back at the very end. We're doing that same formula where we
callback.
start off with music and we do a callback right at the end.
It's just a big KAWmedy Fest sandwich.
Yeah. And Benji Phonic is an awesome dude. One of these days, we'll definitely get him on here on a podcast. He's such a nice guy, but he plays like funkadelic type of music is how he calls it. But that dude is awesome. Yeah. So
gonna be
definitely
cool.
look him up. Yeah.
Oh, last year we had a scalper, which was pretty cool. You know you're doing all right when somebody's scalping tickets
someone
out
scalping
front.
They were on
tickets, yeah.
Instagram, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda, oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, we're
We're
looking
winning.
forward to having more scalpers, and we have a green room with bathrooms.
Yeah.
All comics, you hearing me? Or yeah, we have actual bathrooms in our green room,
Right,
which
yeah.
is not even in the same building.
Wow, yeah,
you have to take
you're
a bus.
Off-site. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a subway. No. Yeah, there. So yeah, this year, last year we had Frank Castillo and Richard Villa. We had the green room just for them. This year it'll be for all the performers.
Yeah.
We'll have access and we'll have security. So
Security.
yeah, lots of food and snacks will be in there. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What else?
What else do we have? We have food trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, food trucks.
Your grilled cheese.
Yeah, I know
Dudes.
Temecula Grilled Cheese Company. One of my good friends, Jeff Willett, who's a chef, he confirmed that he wants to do one of the food trucks over there, and I was like, absolutely. If I could have anybody, it's gonna be you. I mean, it's for selfish reasons. I really love his grilled cheeses, so I want a grilled cheese. But it's super bomb.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know who our second food truck is going to be yet, but
yeah.
I think it's like an Asian fusion. I think it's something that they used before.
Oh, quite possibly.
I think that's what it is. Either way, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then now I'm gonna throw in a wild card segment.
Yeah, no.
I should do like a no. That's, let's see what other sound. I love Amy. Okay, that was.
those were actually Those were Chris's sounds.
I
Yeah.
pre-recorded when I was testing this equipment. What's the third one? Oh God, what's this one? Meow. Okay, that's our cat.
No,
it's me.
that's
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
They're all
pretending
you.
to be our cat.
I'm gonna add crow sounds and music
There
and
you
stuff. But anyways, those sounds initiate our new segment. Yeah, we're
Yay.
gonna try to throw in what is it?
You say
I shouldn't do that.
KAWspiracies?
KAWnspiracies. Yeah. So today's KAWspiracy.
Yeah. Basically, it's a segment where we're going to talk about conspiracies.
Yeah, one conspiracy. So
All right.
today we decided we were going to talk about
Aliens,
UFOs,
yeah.
aliens,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Have you ever had an alien abduction?
I have not, but the funny thing about this is that I was talking to my buddy Andrew earlier today, and he was just like, what movie scared you the most in your whole life? And it was Fire in the Sky.
Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie traumatized me as a kid. Like, I remember, like, I wasn't supposed to watch it. My mom watched it, and then, like, I opened my bedroom door and, like, watched it through, like, this crack because I was like, oh, I want to, watch this adult movie. And then was just, like, frozen in fear the whole time. And I was like, oh, it was just way too real because that was based on, I suppose, a true story
Yeah.
where a guy got abducted and all that stuff. And just, like, how they filmed his abduction and all that stuff. I was just like, oh my God, this is real. It's based off a true story. So, you know, whether or not they are, I truly believe that there is life out there with how many billions of stars and, you know, everything that we have out there. Just mathematically, there's got to be something out there. And yeah, if they're smart enough, they don't want us to know as much as possible. So I could see how they picked us up and all there, but it just always gave me the chills. Like, yeah. Out of anything, I'm not afraid of ghosts. I'm afraid of aliens more than anything.
Yeah, because ghosts aren't going to shove stuff up your butt.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
What if they
You
don't
never
shove
know.
it up your butt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shove it somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn you into an Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Or a lollipop.
Yeah, or a lollipop. Yeah, the in that movie, the thing that freaked me out the most was the aliens were wearing suits. And they take off their alien spacesuit, the one with the eyes, and they're actually these like Jim Henson looking creepy aliens that are underneath the suit. And they're
Yeah.
like fleshy. I don't think that they're aliens from a different galaxy. I think they're rich white people from the future.
And that went to the past.
Yeah. I think that's what they're coming
Yeah.
back and they're probing all the cows.
They're
and-
not even studying. That's just how they get their rocks off in
Yeah.
the future. They're just like, yeah, just probing these people.
Yeah, they got so bored with the future that they're like, let's go back and just like mess with people and draw circles on the crops. And
It makes sense if it was like, you know, Hollywood elites doing
Yeah.
this because they kind of do it anyway.
Yeah.
right,
know?
probing.
It could be
Probing
like in
and-
the future, we don't even have buttholes anymore. It's just like they've been eating like their supplement pills that they don't even poop. So it's just like it's become obsolete.
Yeah,
and
it's
Like
just-
South Park when
yeah.
they like shit out their mouth.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
that's in August 4th, 2023, I saw my first UFO.
What time was it, Chris? What
It
time?
was right before I was leaving for work. It actually made me late for work.
Dang.
That was a crazy thing to tell my boss.
Yeah.
They're like, "Why are you late?" I'm like, "I saw a UFO, blue sky." I left the apartment and I went outside and I noticed these like feathery looking clouds. And I was like, "Oh, those are cool clouds." And I'm walking to the car and I'm like, "Wow, that's a really bright star for 8:45 a.m." And I looked at it and I'm like, "Oh, it's moving." And then I was like, why is it moving? And it was like the sun was hitting it, so that's why it looked like a star, and it was moving like a koi fish. It was really, really high altitude. And then I'm watching it, I'm waiting for it. I'm like I thought it was maybe like a weather balloon or something, but then it would change direction and it would stop and it would move over and and this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this before. And I kept watching, and then it went from like a teardrop, shiny teardrop shape to it's like a triangle that had rainbow tips on the ends of the triangle, and that's when I pulled out my phone. I was like, "Oh, let me get my phone out."
Right.
And-
So it's you said it went to a triangle
Yeah.
with at each point there was like a circle of light of
right.
iridescent
Yes.
Oh,
right,
wow.
reflection.
And I take out my phone, and now I know why UFO footage looks like shit because it's such high altitude.
Yeah, there's no way you can get it.
You have to
have
hold
like, a
so
really good-
still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like just so like I have it, but it just looks like a white dot. And I did catch it on camera where it's moving, but you don't see it as a triangle. It's just a regular shiny dot again.
Yeah.
So I didn't share it because it just looked like a shiny white dot in the sky.
It
But
does.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just look like a crazy person.
yeah, so
Back
and-
then you had the long hair
saw
and the
you
beard,
fool.
right?
yeah. Yeah. So
Shut up, turd.
UFO.
It's UFO.
But yeah, that was the first time I now I believe. I'm like, there's something going on. There's something, but
There's
I think
gotta
it's
be.
military or a
It
secret.
possibly could be that they
Yeah.
have like technology way beyond what, of course, the public will ever see.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, so I mean, I haven't had an experience like Chris's, but I used to stargaze moons ago, and just lay there and the open sky. You're at high altitude, and what do you see? You see like, what they appear to be stars, but these stars kind of do this like zigzag, and it's gone. Zoop zoop, like 3 snaps and Z formation, and it's gone. So I mean, that's as far as I've seen for the most part. And how do you freaking explain that? Oh yeah, and then I had a acquaintance that would fly airplanes, and he out of March Air Force Base. And he said that there's some things out there that you cannot explain. And he would tell me all these stories about like, he's like, there's no way it's a freaking plane. I saw it. We tried to chase it. There's no freaking way.
Yeah, it's Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pee Wee Herman's voice.
Yeah.
Do you remember Flight of the Navigator?
No, I don't think I ever saw that one.
That's a
Oh.
That was
great
one of the
movie.
ones
Yeah,
I
it's a really good
missed
movie.
when I was a
Really
kid,
good.
The
yeah.
technology then was like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
an 80s movie, right?
What?
Or is that
Yeah.
90s?
80s.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
very 80s.
Yeah.
84.
Sarah Jessica Parker's in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
Really
hot.
young. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's beautiful.
Yeah. And there's a documentary. Of course, there's a documentary about how the kid from Flight of the Navigator is all screwed up now as
Yeah.
a child actor.
Ye-
But yeah, he went through some trauma.
hard times. Yeah.
Yes.
These poor child, actors. I feel so bad for them. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not.
And you always wanted to be like them. Oh, that'd be so cool to like act in a movie. How do I do that? I don't know. You have to be fucked up first.
And I think about that all the time because, like, when I was a kid, I was always wanted to be on, like, I want to be on the Disney Channel. And now I look at all, like, the Disney Channel kids of, like, my age and how they are now. Very few of them didn't have a fucked up life. So I'm like,
The only-
cool, maybe this was the best.
All right, here's a question.
Right.
Which child actor turned out okay?
Hillary Duff.
Hillary Duff?
Yeah, I would say Hillary Duff is probably the
That was a
best one. Right?
really quick reply.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. That's,
Yeah, he
I
turned
mean,
out all right.
he got really, really spiritual, which I dig his interviews. He's very intelligent, and he makes a lot of sense in my opinion.
That's awesome.
I don't know
I'll have to
much.
check him out.
I don't know
But
much
maybe
about
he
Hillary
did.
Duff.
Yeah.
I don't know either. But maybe he did like have, some experiences, and how he chose his path. He chose his path wisely, on purpose, with intention. So maybe he's not as messed up as some other actors. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he
Totally.
did that Black Phone movie, so
That's a
I
great
mean,
movie.
I haven't
Was
seen
it? I
it.
want
It
to
was
see
good.
it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where it's like he's a child abductor.
Yeah.
So it's like he's reenacting something. I don't
Maybe,
know.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's like,
Anyways,
you can't have
yeah.
a screwed up childhood if you're the predator.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just acting.
Yeah.
Well, that's our KAWnspiracy segment. I love Amy. I
Jesus.
love Amy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like to brainwash myself. I bought this equipment just so I can just play that over and over. And
Yeah.
so I have headphones.
I
and
love
just-
Amy.
I
That's
love
pretty
Amy.
expensive to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, this thing does everything, but you
Hey.
chose this thing just to play that.
Brainwash
over and over.
equipment isn't cheap. And that's another segment. For
Yeah, in the future.
yeah, brainwashing equipment. But that's this is our first episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Those keys are
It's my
haunted.
keys.
And follow us on all of our social platforms, especially KAWmedy, KAWmedy, KAWmedy Entertainment on Instagram, especially TikTok, Facebook page, YouTube channel where you'll see this footage. Spotify on audio, Apple Podcasts. They switched from Apple Music to Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast got absorbed by YouTube like usual. So yeah,
And KAWmedy.com soon to come.
www.KAWmedy KAWmedy.com.
Spelling.
KAWmedy.
You'll be able to get your tickets for KAWmedy Fest 2024.
Which is on March.
25th.
No, May 25th.
May
May
25th.
25th.
Oh,
Last year was
it's an
at
M.
March.
It's
Yeah.
an M.
Yeah.
Yeah, your show, the show at Guadalajara.
And that's going to be this 24th. So
24th.
January 24th.
January. And who's on that show?
On that show, we just added Kyle Johnson. He's going to be on there. We also have Corey Coogan. And then we have Elliot Chang is our headliner. But we also have Shadi Matar, who's one of our murders.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing.
Tell them about the murders
Yeah,
real quick.
the murder is a school of crows. The idea all of this came from originally.
Yeah.
I'll make it
School
very
of
clear.
Crows.
First, first off, KAWmedy Entertainment started when Peter and I came up with. We were like, "What are we gonna call our festival? What are we gonna call it?" And we were like, I was like, "Well, there shouldn't be any kids."
Yeah.
So we came up with "Kids Aren't Welcome."
Yeah.
And that was originally what it was.
It was a
and-
beautiful thing for the
Yeah.
moment.
And then we
then-
added School of Rock, and then we thought it would be really weird if we were
Yeah.
Kids Aren't Welcome, but
Can't
we
do
also
that.
have a kids show at
Yeah.
the very beginning.
Yeah. So we turned in an acronym, and it's a KAW, like
Yeah.
oh, Crow. Okay, so I mean, so then KAWmedy Entertainment. That's how it was born.
Yeah.
And then
Our mascot was a crow, and then we ended up making KAWmedy Krow.
right.
And then,
And then a school of crows, or like a flock of crows, is
Yeah.
called a murder. And a fun story about that, one time, Devin, he's 14 now, but when I picked him up from school, like he was in like first grade, and he's like, I'm like, how was your day at school today? And he's in the back seat, and I'm driving Nostradamus, the name of our car, and
Yeah.
and he's like, I saw a murder. And I slammed on the brakes, and I was like, well, "Okay, tell me about the. What did you see? A murder?" And it was a definition for a school of crows, a murder, a flock. And I was like, "Oh my god, dude, that's so crazy."
Yeah.
But that always stuck with me. So we've been building a team. Everyone that works with you either win a contest through KAWmedy Entertainment. At one of the shows, or if you win the contest at the KAWmedy Fest, you get to be a part of the murder. So we have Shadi Matar,
Yeah.
Kyle
Kyle Johnson,
Johnson,
Corey Coogan.
Corey Coogan, Peter, myself.
Yeah.
Um,
And the cool thing
and
is,
Scott Anthony, dude.
And Scott
Yeah,
Anthony,
Scott
yeah.
Anthony.
And all these are like up and coming comics. They're all really good. They have a lot of potential, and they're just naturally talented. I mean, when Kyle Johnson won, he was just starting.
Yeah.
But
I
he
don't
just
even know
has
if he was,
this
like, a
cool
year.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was only a
Such
few months
cool
in.
vibe. And so like we give them, whenever we need somebody for a show and all that stuff, we'll give them
Hosting.
time. We'll also ask them to host and everything. So we give them a lot of stage time to help them out, and it's been a beautiful, beautiful murder.
Yeah, so that's what it takes to be a part of the KAWmedy murder.
Yeah.
And in comedy, there's like, oh, you killed it on stage,
Yeah.
or dude, you murdered it.
You
Yeah,
murdered.
murder, dude.
Murder.
Killed it. Oh, you break a leg. It's so brutal. So
Yeah.
we're like a bunch of nice comics that
Yeah.
totally murder, but we're crows, so we're not really murdering. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all fun. It's good marketing. So, anyways, follow us on all the social platforms. Where can we find your private page or your personal
yeah.
personal page?
You could follow me at That Other Peter Guy on Instagram. That's where I post all my comedy stuff that's coming up. You can look for me there.
Yeah, and then Amy.
I'm mostly on Instagram anymore.
She's an artist.
I'm mostly on Instagram. So, my art page is Abyssic Reveries on Instagram. You can find me there, abyssicreveries.com. My personal page is, Shades of Despair. So you can always shoot me a line.
Yeah. And then you can catch Amy and I on our podcast clips or video of Not So Funny, KNOT, like knots on your back, where I massage comedians and entertainment alike.
Entertainment.
And Amy cooks. Yeah. Amy uses her nutrition background for cooking, and I'm massaging, and then we all eat together, and there's a singing bowl. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then
Delicious.
you can find my personal info at you can do at CKT Comedy. Yeah, KAWmedy. So CKT Comedy is my handle. Also, or just search Christopher Keith Tyler. There's like 1,000 Chris Tylers, but there's only one Christopher Keith Tyler. So
Nice.
There can only be one.
yeah,
It could only be
until you cut my head off. So,
Yeah.
like the Highlander.
lightning and shit.
All
Oh,
right.
I love that movie.
Yeah, so
that's
like this, share it, yeah, support us, and we will see you at the 2024 KAWmedy Fest, May 25th, starting at 3 p.m. and ending around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we'll see you there. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.